Margaret, and I know it's been a couple of weeks because I've just been swamped, and I have a whole lot of stuff to show you, which is why I'm sitting here on my bed where it is relatively quiet back here since my family is all here. Usually I do this when everybody's gone, so I won't have the distractions. But got lots to show you today. And if you notice in my little opening, I said that in this episode it was called Thanks YouTube Friends. And I know I've thanked you before for being part of this wonderful community, but I look back over the short time that I've been a part of it and realize how much I've learned and grown in my crochet and just yarn in general, and the fun friends that I've met along the way. So it's been great, and I'm really looking forward to 2013. So, with that being said, let's start about talking about what I've done. All right, first of all, I did another horse hat since I've seen you last. It was an extra large size, and that was really dumb of me. I put one post on Facebook that about the horse hats, that I was donating the proceeds, and I got 6 horse hats, a football hat, and a cupcake hat out of that deal. So we did donate a goodly amount of money for our little blind halo, and I'll probably do that with most of my proceeds anyway if I sell something else. But so I did another horse hat. Large. And the fun thing about this was that these guys that are wearing these are going to the Kentucky Derby, and this is going to be their hats. And he said, and when he got it, he goes, I love it, it's great, and we might be ordering some more, so I may be doing some more horse hats. And I was so inspired to try that in the first place thanks to my YouTube friends, all of you that are so into the amigurumi. I hope I'm saying that right. And the character hats, everybody from Erin to Rebecca and Sharon, and I don't know, just so many of you that have done those great character hats and gave me the confidence to give it a try, so I'm glad I did, and I thank you for that. The cupcake hat that I did is a Loom Knit Hat that I just add a crochet border for the frosting. And of course these are gone, so I don't have anything to show you on that, but I will make sure you see a picture. And then another thing that I did was a Christmas present were boot cuffs, and I'll insert a picture here. And those were for Maggie, my daughter. She had asked for those, and I had to sneak and do those when she wasn't around, and she really liked them a lot. Now I don't have them to show because she's on her way to New Orleans for New Year's Eve, but I did them out of this Beanies Choice. Remember my big yarn haul where I got such good prices on everything? This is oatmeal from Beanies Choice, and really it's a classic kind of design. Almost looks like tweed, if you can see that. And I used less than one skein for both boot cuffs, and she liked those a lot. And so then I was thinking to myself, well, I'll get back to that. Okay, so then another thing that I did that I don't have to show you is an infinity scarf, just like these. That was my daughter Maggie on the right, and Mary Cat, her good friend, who had put in their orders for infinity scarves a while back. Well, I got an email from a friend of ours saying, could you make for Christmas a navy one with no sparkles, and it needs to be kind of bulky and blah 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 blah. So I sent her that picture and I said, like this, and she said yeah. So I got another order for that before Christmas, so I did a navy one for Molly. There's a girl I used to teach in Sunday school who I adored, so I was really down to the wire, and I probably should have said no because I still have not met all my Christmas requirements. But I love my Molly, so I did that very quickly and got more money for Halo the Blind Horse, so that was good. So of course I forgot to take a picture of it, but it doesn't matter because it looks just like those I just showed you, so you're good. Alright, so then I'm all through with that, and I said, you know, I want to start another project. So I got really brave, and I have started a dog sweater that looks like this. And it's going to be for a little dog that looks a lot like the one in the picture. And I've only gotten this far. This is the collar right here. And you will trim this, and I'm going to use, well, lavender. I'll show you in a minute. And you fold it down like that so you have the trim. So I'm starting the body. But the problem with my doing this, I usually like to finish a project before I begin another one, but you use this tiny little hook. It actually called for an E hook, and I didn't have one at the time, so I did it with an F. I've since bought the E, but I'm working with an F hook. And so the progress is rather slow, and I also, I don't know, really don't get excited about this yarn, to be honest with you. It feels great when it's made up, but it's just not fun to work with, and I can't really put my finger on it as to why. It's the Bernat Baby Sport. So I'm using the pink. This is another one of my good bargains that I got, and I'm going to be trimming it in the lavender. So when I finish. So anyway, I kind of got bored, maybe. I don't know. I think because I'm not really excited about it, I thought, you know, I'm going to do another quick little project and see if I can go back to that. So, remembering that the boot cuffs used less than a skein of this yarn, I took the rest of it, and I made, where did it go? I did plan to make two, but so far I've made one fingerless glove. And Robin had done several of those, and I thought they were really neat. And I had forgotten what pattern she used, but I found this one on the Lion Brand website. The original one on the Lion Brand site, well, I'll show you a picture of that one. And it has the stripes, you know, on there. And I decided not to do those since it's my first one, to just give it a try. But you can kind of see in the nature of the stitch, can you see how it sticks out a little bit? That's where the stripes would be. Because what you're doing is you're single crocheting here, and then you turn and you go back, and then you turn and then you go back, and then you turn and then you go back. And this leaves that open right there for your thumb, and then here you just go all the way around. So since you're not turning, the stitch looks a little bit different than the turn. So it really makes sense that they put the stripes there, but it doesn't look bad without the stripes. But yeah, I like it. So it turned out really, really well. Oh, I need to show you something. Sorry, Smith. Smitty's right here, and I'm bothering him apparently. I was really nervous about working on this glove, and the reason why is because my only other attempt to do gloves was loom knitting probably about a year ago, and my first attempt came out looking like an oven mitt. I mean, literally, look at that. That's just pitiful. And of course you can't use it like an oven mitt because, you know, it's got holes in it. I guess I could line it or whatever, but I don't need another oven mitt. So then I thought, okay, let me give it another try. So I knew what I was doing wrong, and I was going to make it smaller. So I did, but I totally screwed up and forgot the thumb. And when you loom knit, you can't go back and fix it. So that was kind of funny. And then, that wasn't all. I kept going. If at first you don't succeed. I did it, but something happened here, and the thumb was too short, and this came undone, and so I have this big, So needless to say, I was kind of worried about my attempt, but I need to say that crocheting gloves gives you a lot more control than loom knitting, or at least on the big nifty knitter looms. You could probably get better, with the smaller looms, you could probably get a better stitch on that. So I was very pleased with this one. So I have one more to go, but I'll have to break into the other skein of yarn. Okay, I have so much to talk about that I had to write it all down. All right, another thing I did that was a small, quick project were these coasters. The pattern was called 1893, I think, coasters. I'll give you the link in there. But this is what it looks like when it's all done. This is done in a brown cotton. I think it's the sugar and cream. Did I show you the right side? I don't think I showed you the right side. But anyway, it's a pretty little pattern. But as I was looking at that, I'm thinking, that is too big for a coaster. It's more like a bowl. It's pretty. So I just left out the last round, and it comes out looking like that, which is what I thought that was kind of cute. So I made a couple of those just to throw around because my family is famous for not reaching for a coaster. So if we have them handy all around, they'll maybe use them. Alrighty. Now, another thing I did was what I saw Rebecca do. This is called the Better Late Than Never hat. And, I'm always challenged with the variegated yarns. And this came out really well, I thought. This is Banana Berry Red Heart and the Spring Green for these colors. But look how interesting it came out. When you turn it, look, you got more yellow, and then you come this way and you get more blue. And I thought that turned out really well. I was excited about it. So excited, in fact, that I did another one. And I can't remember. I think this was Mountain or Waterfall. That was Waterfall, is the variegated yarn on this one. But notice that I got a little bit bigger here, and I'm not exactly sure, right here, I'm not exactly sure how I did that. And you would think that I would have fixed it when I tried it the third time, but instead it got worse. So somehow or another I started increasing stitches, and I don't know how I did that. But it doesn't matter because these are going to charity. We still don't have enough of our hats. We're getting close. We're up to almost 100. We need about 120. So, people have different head sizes, so I'm not worried about that in the least. But this is interesting. Look at this is the same variegated yarn, but with different contrasting solid colors. And it almost blends right into this one. The blue does, but the purple gives it more of a contrast. So I like these. So thank you, Rebecca, for pointing those out to me, rather. And then last but not least, oh, and by the way, all of this is from my stash. Okay, speaking of stash, all my yarn addiction friends, I have lots and lots of, little bits and pieces that are left from projects, even as small as this. And I have never in my whole life, of all 2 years of yarn work, I've never done a granny square. So I've done my first granny squares because the goal is going to be a blanket that looks like this. And that, actually I was looking at Z and was really touched by her idea of doing the Granny Square a Day project with the yarn that she has done for gifts that she did for other people. And so it kind of reminds her of those people, and I thought that was really clever. I like that. And of course we've got Granny Square projects for bags and stuff going on over at Yarn Addiction. But I don't know. And then Harold on Cast Off Crew. Harold, how do you knock out those blankets so quickly? I mean, he does these massive projects that are beautifully done. I mean, I don't know how he does it. So I'm going to start small with a Granny Square blanket like I just showed you. And the reason I chose that one, this is my very first Granny Square ever, but the reason I chose that one is because you could get away with using only 2 colors, and you could probably do that with other Granny Square patterns. I really like the little star. Let me get up close here. You see it? That it created in the middle. I messed up on this one. I'm not quite sure what I did wrong on there. But, you know, this is just a whole bunch of scrap yarn. And Dana Pittman is going to do a shawl with her scrap yarn. And she pointed out that, you know, it really doesn't matter the colors as long as you've got a main color that you link it all with, that you're tying it all together with. And you know, that's true. That it ended up looking, well, back like that picture again. It looks pretty together, you know, because you have so much white and just the color is interspersed. And it's the key thing is to have your main contrast color that's together. So I've done 3 of those. Still, I'm trying to sew my ends in as I go, but I just noticed I've left that one off. But the best part is that you only need about 6 feet, which is not a lot of yarn, to do this center square. I mean, the center star flower part. And that's good. So you can use your teeniest scraps. So anything smaller than that, you save for your stuffing in your, you know, character hats or amigurumi or whatever. So I think that's all I've got to show you in this video. So, oh, and this is great news. I don't know if you can see it now. Smitty's moving. You see this little thing right here? I loom knitted that a while ago for Smitty to sleep on because he likes to sleep on the back of the couch all the time and it leaves hair. And he likes it now, so I think it was too hot. He hated it before. I put it down and he would stand down on it like, ew, yuck. See, can you see it without my disturbing him? It's just, I did it on a long loom. And here's one other thing I want to bring up while we're on the subject of cats and stuff. Constantly having to battle pet hair at my house. And so what I'll do is put my yarn in a big bowl when I'm working on a project. And see, like I only have a little bit of this left. Well, this little bit will pick up massive amounts of hair if it's laying all over the floor, or usually I have a cat in my lap or a dog beside me. And so this just keeps it, you know, free of hair. So I don't know if you other pet lovers have other methods that might be less bulky than this, please share them. But that's what I do. So again, I thank you, all my YouTube friends, my cast-off crew, and everybody for leading me to some of these great projects that I probably would never have discovered on my own, and giving me the confidence to keep going. So that's important. So I'm looking forward to a good 2013. Again, I always put the links to my fellow cast-off crew friends down in the description box along with the patterns that I've spoken about today, so be sure to check those out.